right, good afternoon, morning, or whatever time of day it is in your part of the world, people. My name is Adam Walter. I'm here with Sudhir Nambiar. I'm trying my best, and he's with what's your name? What's your company? He's one of the pitch attendees this year. Tell me a little bit about your company, what it is, what it does, and how it makes a solution for an MSP.
Okay. Yeah, my company is Xamplify. We are one of the pitch contestants for 2024. Our platform is a marketing automation and a co-marketing automation solution for MSPs. If MSPs are working with the vendors, our platform is built for an MSP and making easy to work with any vendors. Be it if the vendor and our platform has another side where vendors also have the partner portals hosted on our platform, so it becomes easy for both the parties to work with each other.
Okay. Yeah, so this topic you sent me was one that resonated with me because I'm a graphic arts background. I feel strongly about marketing, but I also always hear in Reddit forums and in online forums, how do I market? I got $1,500 a month to market with. How do I market? And so why don't MSPs market themselves? Why do they just seem to like, if I work harder, I'll be okay? So why answer that question for me in the beginning here. Why don't MSPs market themselves?
So I think again, it's a okay. Let me see. It's very easy for somebody to market if there is a physical goods, if it's a physical product, or even a digital product. If there is a set feature, set activities that can be done. Generally, MSPs or for any service providers, I mean any of the solutions provider, whatever services you're providing, they typically end up having a happy experience for the end customer. So when as an MSP, if you want to go out to market, there are very little productized service that you can do, which wouldn't have a spoke creep. So you end up trying to show. And if you hire all these consultants and marketing agencies, most of them would end up trying to say, okay, let's do a testimonial from a customer. Let's do a case study for this. Now that would not solve alone, right? I mean, that is all what marketing is for. I like marketing as a service. If you check it out with anybody, they'll come back and come to that. How many videos and who's going to watch it? It becomes tricky. So one of the things that I feel this is the reason why MSPs don't market. Plus, the what do you call that? Uh, the the advice that they get is also pretty limited. I mean, they work with so many vendors and so many people. So they should be utilizing that to co-market. And I think that would be the easier and the better way to do it rather than only doing happy customer testimonials. I mean,
Yeah. I have a theory as well that they don't market because they haven't defined their market. Like they're trying to sell to everybody rather than saying, here is the persona that I am trying to sell to. I'm trying to reach small schools. I'm trying to reach medical offices that specialize in pediatrics. And going through that exercise seems to be fruitful. I'll just work on anybody's networks. I'll work on anybody's stuff.
Adam,
Market to everyone then.
I'll tell you one thing. I am an MS. I mean, I am an MSP. I do, but my area of focus is a little different. But that's data and analytics. But what you're saying is again identifying the customer. Okay, I'm sure not everybody will like it, but it's very tough to identify something. I mean, when you're doing a service, even I do that. I mean, I go to a small company to a large company. I do the services because I'm at the end of the day, I'm doing a service. For me to specialize, it takes a little bit time. For me, it took over 10 years to start saying, this is my market. This is where I play really well. This is the kind of customers who can afford me. These are the now it takes time. And for 10 years, I think it's a little long time for you to know that, oh, this is when I came to understand. I came to the point that, oh, all the marketing, everything that I'm doing is probably not driving me to that area. That's when I first realized that, we should we should change the way we are marketing and selling. We have to start working with the vendors and the products that we're doing. Not only our services, whatever we offer, that is great, but we are offering the service on using somebody's products. So why not tag along with them? Why not use their unique features and go after getting new customers?
Yeah.
So this is what strategy we used. And over time, after, as I said, after 10 years when I came to know, and then we started talking to so many of the other guys, our competitors, friends, and people in the same industry, and that's when we started realizing the problems for marketing. And so again, nobody's building anything specifically for a small or medium services company. It's the larger guys who are selling to the small and medium company. It's the HubSpot or the Marketo or some of those kind of marketing automation platform people use it. We started looking at it saying, okay, you know what, why not do things for the MSPs? But before even we did this thing, as I said, we have the enterprise side, which is where partner portals and everything are also done. So we have both the side on our platform actually.
Yeah, and I mean, so it's you've been there, like you know how it feels to like not market, not hit your target audience, and going out and finding new customers is almost like, so a lot of IT people are introverts, right? Like, I gotta meet people, I gotta kiss babies and shake hands. Yes, it is easier to farm your internal companies. However, finding new companies is how you grow.
Exactly.
And you grow exponentially as you find more and more and more people.
Exactly.
And you also get the ability to fire your clients that aren't a good fit for you. And that is a freeing feeling. I have not run my own MSP, but being able to fire a client because they're just not a good fit, they're just a drain on you every week. You find new clients that resonate well with you, that have the same culture fit as you. That's marketing. That's your sales. And from what I'm getting from you, you kind of wrap those up into one easy to use platform,
right,
where you can partner and grab your partners and put them all into one area where you say, hey, look, we partner with these 3 people
right,
to provide a solution that's best in class for you. And there's your marketing tool right there. I can show it to you. It's right there.
Exactly. You got it. That's exactly what we do. Let me answer. I mean, let me comment on one thing. I mean, you're firing a client, right? I have a client who's, I mean, I don't want to even do anything with them, but they've been one of my early customers. It's very difficult. I mean, I think you can fire a client who's newer than the older ones. So the older ones are a big drain because your pricing was different, but still it's very difficult for you to mentally, there's some kind of a good omen feeling or something like that. So most of the guys will keep them. But then you're spot on the other side. Like as after 10 years, as I said, after some time, once you start identifying this is my ideal customer base, your prices can go up. You can start finding some kind of but then again, there's one more point which I want to bring it here. When you're small, when you're 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5 customers, every single person who will talk to you and give you advice, they'll all tell you to focus, provide one service. Now that's a tricky thing. Like how you should put some time limit for that, providing that service. It takes a lot of time to find allied areas. You can't just focus on only one area and increase the share of wallet from the customer. You want to add more things as well, that you can do more activities. So that's another way to grow your existing customer base as well. Yeah. So partnering with other solutions would be a great idea. You're doing cybersecurity things. So what about some kind of AI, something? Every single customer of yours is doing it. And if you have a good relationship, can you bring in a new product into the mix? Up to you, right? I mean, those kind of things.
Yeah, I tell you, market yourself. So, but we just had this podcast recording. I don't know when it's going to come out, but we talk about relating to your client and listening so that you know what to market. So don't just say, hey, I'm awesome, I'm awesome, I'm awesome, hire me, buy my stuff. Rather say, tell me about your business client. Tell me about what you're trying to accomplish. And then choose out of your portfolio which aspect of yourself you're going to market.
Correct.
You have 10,000 solutions. Which one of them matters to the target in front of you? Which one of your partners is going to be a good fit for this client?
Correct.
Like if you've got an E-rate partner specialist that's helping with schools, and then you're sitting in front of a private school who struggles with E-rate because they don't have a big conglomerate backing them up.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Put that partner in your portal and say, look, we can take care of E-rate for you.
Right.
And make sure that you're getting your discounts every year up to 75%.
Right.
And this is how we work with you, because you hear from them that they really hate doing the E-rate, and they're like, hey, do you do any E-rate reporting? Like, yes, we have a partner that actually does that for us.
Right.
What do you do for your ISP? We really need some fiber. We need high-speed internet because we have a lot of students taking a lot of tests, and it needs to be reliable. You know what? We really have a great carrier hotel downtown that we work with that's going to help build your stack up, and you won't have to worry about a thing. We take care of it all for you. So market the thing that matters to your client, but you need to have a good portal, a good system for categorizing. These are my offerings.
Right.
This is my market that I have. Don't just pick your favorite one. Pick the one that will matter to them. They'll be relatable to their problem.
Correct. And also make sure that you market. You have other people in your team. You can't be the only sole founder, CEO marketing every time. You need other people. As you grow, they can make sure systems are there for them to also talk the same topic.
Yeah.
Adam, I also wanted to add one more thing. A lot of MSPs might think, the customers don't talk to them about their business strategies. They say, hey, your job is to do this, go and fix it. So how do you get them start talking to them, right?
Yeah, it's actually really easy. We have something called the 2 Qs. It's a piece of marketing collateral we have on our website. You can download for free. And so everybody listening to this podcast should be able to respond to this by rote by now. What are the 2 questions, everyone? What's your biggest sources of revenue, and what are your biggest risks to those revenue? You ask those 2 questions. We talk about this in our podcast quite a bit because we want people to ingrain this into people's heads. We used to try to teach people SWOT exercises. But SWOT exercises were too complicated for people to memorize. I still love them. I still do them, even in my head when I'm talking to people about problem solving.
Right.
So when you ask a client about their biggest sources of revenue and then the biggest sources of risk to that revenue, they may come back and say, why do you want to know that? Like, well, as an IT service provider, we have to know your risk register. We have to build up a list of, we need to protect these assets, or we need to make sure these assets are taken care of. So you've got a quick response to it. But once they start talking about their revenue, once they start talking about their struggles, then you as an engineer, you cannot help this. Your brain is going to start coming up with solutions in your head.
Correct.
You won't be able to stop yourself. So we talk about a simple situation. There's a hot dog vendor. He doesn't have any managed services. He goes out and he sells hot dogs on the corner, and he goes to, and his big revenue source is going to concerts and selling hot dogs. The problem is sometimes the concert is so big, it's such a popular artist that he can't sell really fast because the cell tower is congested and he can't get credit cards pushed through. And so it's a big frustration for him. And then so you as an engineer are going to think, well, why doesn't it use a 5G hotspot?
Right.
And if you have a big enough antenna, you'll definitely get to that tower. Now you have come up with a solution for this person who absolutely has no net need for managed services.
Correct.
And they're going to be like, I will give you $1,000 a month for that. I'll give you $1,500 a month for that. That will solve a problem for me, and I will be able to sell $10,000 more product because of that one thing.
Correct.
And you're the one hot dog vendor at the Grateful Dead concert, and everybody's got the munchies, and you're sitting there going, I can sell you as many hot dogs as you want. We take credit cards, and everybody else is shut down. Lines are huge. They're going to walk around going, hey, you just need to go over to Bob over there. He's selling hot dogs. Right. You as an engineer just improved their profit margins. And that's just not a hot dog vendor. Imagine what you could do for a big business or a medium-sized business or a small business that is doing multiple things.
Right.
You got to market that aspect of your IT, but you can't do that until you listen about what their revenue is.
Right.
Then I have done this over and over in my own career, and I've watched level 1 techs solve $100,000 problems because they simply sat next to the right person at the right time while they were complaining about an issue.
And they had a open mind to give a good solution as well.
Yes. So when they hear the solution, I mean, everything from I've got a case study on timesheets. You know, these people are still filling out timesheets by hand, even though they could do it electronically.
Right.
And it's because they couldn't get decent internet access out in the field. And the tech was just like, why don't you use one of the hotspots? And they're like, oh, those things never worked, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, well, we have some new ones. When was the last time you tried? Well, it was like 5 years ago. Oh, you want to try the new ones then? So he gives them one, puts it on the dashboard of their truck. And then the tech's like, well, it worked for them. It saved like 10 hours a week for them because they didn't have to drive into office and fill out the timesheets. Instead, but I'm going to have buy one of these and they're $150 a piece for 300 crews. And I go, that saved 10 hours for their crew. I walk over to the CFO and I say 300 crews times 10. I'm like doing the math in my head. I can save 3,000 man hours a week.
A week, yeah.
If we buy hotspots for all the trucks.
Yeah, yeah.
And the CFO's like, done.
Absolutely. and then to market this one, I mean, you could use it with the hotspot provider as well.
Yep.
Because hotspot provider would be getting leads as well from their side.
Yes.
Right. So that's
you tell your hotspot partner in your portal, like, hey, look, if you can give me a price point of $109 an object, I can sell 300 of these next week.
correct.
Done. Everybody wins.
Exactly.
What you did there was you talked to your partner about a revenue option,
Exactly.
and your partner, a technology person, said, oh, if I knock $11 off, or, you know, like if I knock 20% off, I can get 300 of these.
Right.
So you're a small business owner. I'm a small business owner. If somebody came into and said, I can have 300 new contracts today, but your margin's only going to be 10% versus 40%, like, done.
Absolutely.
You know, I will work with you and we will get this done as long as I still have a good margin on it.
Exactly.
But that's your client too. Your client wants the same thing. They want profitability. And you as a technology partner, that's your job. Your job is to find technology to help them become profitable.
Exactly. And typically, if you have a good partnership or any of these, if you're working with other people, it generally is a win-win-win. At the end of it, if you're transparent enough and working with each other properly. Otherwise, one of the other players who's not part of it, who don't believe it, it becomes a troublesome situation. I mean, what if the hotspot provider does not give you a discount?
Okay.
Right.
Are there other providers out there I can work with?
Exactly. So after say 10 years of you being in the business, then you start realizing that before I get into hotspot, I will talk to 3 hotspot providers. I will have one favorite, but I'm going to still have 2. Somebody doesn't discount. So that's when now you have to start working with 3-4 different players of
Yep.
one area. Now, you could have been just some technology guy, but a hotspot might be not your technology, but you're solving your customer's problem along with that.
Yep.
So, I know we also used to focus. When I started, we were focusing so much. Then as time went forward, we started adding more things to our services too.
Yeah.
So then you start becoming a little, might be your level of control on a customer or the delivery or the services that you're providing might be a little lesser, but you are able to grow much, much more faster, actually.
Yes. And that's all about partnerships. You got to treat, I would almost say, just from listening to you talk, like you talk about how in your software, you can register your partners, you can match them up. You got to treat your client like a partner.
Oh.
They have resources, they have things that you want, things that you can help them with.
Yeah.
And when you see your client like that, you can market yourself better because now you're not seeing them as a cash box. You're seeing them as somebody you can help. That's one of the big differences between internal IT. So I was internal IT for 20 years.
Oh, okay.
I rose up through the ranks. I was a corpie. right? I had the option of going out and running my own MSP, couldn't make the math work in the early 2000s. And so I decided to sell out and become a corpie.
Right.
In internal IT, you spend a lot more time caring for the department and the individual and the business.
Right.
It gets lost the bigger your bigger your company goes, the more it gets lost in translation of what you're actually doing, what you're actually working for. But in the mid-sized and small businesses, the IT staff are very involved in helping generate profits, helping build the company so it moves faster. What we want to be able to do is treat our clients in a way that we see them as you have a business you're trying to take care of. Let me help you be profitable. I have programs and partners that will help you get an edge over your competition, because that's what we do.
Right.
So I need to wrap this up, but we're going to have one more episode with Sudhir here, and we're going to talk about how his product actually helps you deliver this really easily as an MSP. You don't know how to do marketing. You don't know how to line up partnerships. Let's actually talk through like how using a tool like Xamplify will help you reach more clients and newer ones so you can actually do business with people of choice.
Okay.
So thanks for coming on, Sudhir, and let's carry this on to next week.
Thank you. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.